You are one decision away from a completely different life, and most people blow it because they can't control the three things that matter the most: their mind, their mouth, and their money. Listen, if you can't master these, you will never master your future, period. You'll stay stuck, spinning in the same problems, blaming the same people, feeling the same frustrations year after year. But if you stay with me for just the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the real, tactical tools to break out of that trap today. No fluff, no motivational hype, just the truth. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to have a simple map to take back control of your life starting right now. Your mind is a battlefield. Either you win or you lose. Every single day, your brain throws out 60 thoughts. Most of them negative, fear, doubt, worry. If you don't catch that garbage and replace it, it runs your day, runs your decisions, and runs your life. The fastest way to lose respect, trust, and opportunities. Open your mouth without thinking. Words create your reality for you and everyone around you. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to react to every situation. Sometimes silence is your greatest power move. Your future is hiding in the conversations you haven't ruined yet. Money problems aren't money problems, they're mind problems. Overspending, impulse buying, chasing the next shiny thing, that's not a wallet issue. It's a self-control issue. Tell your money where to go, or it will tell you where you can't go. Every major success you dream about, it's hiding behind better control of these three areas. You don't get lucky, you don't get rescued, you get disciplined. Most people waste their whole life trying to control other people, their boss, their spouse, the government, weather, and meanwhile, the real game was about controlling themselves all along. If you just take responsibility for your mind, your mouth, and your money starting today, you can rewrite your entire story. One decision, right now. The only question left is, are you going to take it? Your mind is the starting line for everything you want, everything you fear, and everything you are running from. If you don't get a grip on what happens inside your head, everything outside of it will stay chaotic, reactive, and out of control. Most people walk through life thinking their thoughts are facts. They hear that inner voice say, I'm not good enough, I'm too late, I can't do this, and they believe it like it's some law of nature, but it's not. Your thoughts are just old wiring, bad habits, past failures trying to drag you back into the ditch. If you don't stop, pause, and take charge of that thinking, your mind will run you straight into every dead-end street you swore you'd never visit again. Every dream you've ever had, every plan you've made, every relationship you want to fix, every dollar you want to earn, it all starts with your mind. And if your mind is cluttered with fear, insecurity, comparison, and negativity, guess what happens to your actions? They shrink, they slow down, they disappear. It's not about thinking positive thoughts all the time. It's about not believing the negative ones. It's about recognizing that your brain is wired for survival, not success, and survival mode means it'll constantly look for danger, drama, and reasons to doubt yourself. That's your default setting. You have to override it every single day, and it's not some massive overnight transformation. It's micro decisions. It's catching yourself when your mind spirals into I can't do this, and snapping out of it with I'll figure it out. It's noticing when you start replaying that same mistake from 10 years ago and saying, that's done, that's over. Focus forward. Your life doesn't change when things outside of you change. Your life changes the second you take control of the way you think about yourself, your future, and your ability to act. You don't need a miracle. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to decide that your mind is your responsibility and no one else's. No one is coming to rescue you from your thoughts. No one is going to babysit your brain and keep you motivated. That's your job. That's the price of success. That's the first battle you win before you win anything else. Your mouth is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's also one of the most dangerous. What you say either builds you up or tears you down. It's not just the words you speak. It's the energy behind them, the intent, and the tone. And here's the thing. Most people don't even realize they're sabotaging their own future with the way they talk. They don't understand that every word is either a brick in the foundation of their success or a wrecking ball to their reputation and relationships. Think about how often you complain about your job, about your boss, about your circumstances. You've convinced yourself it's just venting. But all you're doing is reinforcing your own helplessness. It's like you're throwing fuel on a fire and wondering why it keeps burning. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't express frustration or speak your mind. What I am saying is, you have to choose your words carefully. You have to choose the conversations you enter. Your mouth can either be your most powerful ally or your biggest liability. How many times have you said something you wish you could take back? How many times have you shot yourself in the foot by saying something impulsive, unnecessary, or mean? You've probably told yourself, "Oh, I didn't mean it," or "I was just being honest," but truthfully, that's just your ego talking. The reality is, the moment those words leave your mouth, they've already set things in motion, they've already impacted someone's perception of you, and they've already affected the relationship you're trying to build. That's why it's so critical to take a second before you speak. When you feel that impulse to react, whether it's to a comment someone made or a situation that's frustrating you, pause, count to 5, breathe, and ask yourself, is what I'm about to say helpful or harmful? Is it adding to the conversation, or is it just noise? You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to share every opinion. You don't need to defend yourself at every turn. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay silent. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means you're choosing your energy. It means you're being intentional about where you invest your time and your words. Every time you control your mouth, you're actually controlling your power. You're controlling the direction of your life. You're deciding to use words that move you toward your goals, not away from them. And when you get this, when you really grasp how important this is, your life will change. Because your mouth doesn't just reflect who you are, it shapes who you become. Money isn't just about numbers or bills in your wallet. It's a mirror, a reflection of how you think about yourself and the world. Your relationship with money says everything about your relationship with control, responsibility, and self-worth. If you're constantly struggling to make ends meet, if you can't seem to save, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's not just a financial problem. It's a mindset problem. Your habits with money come directly from your mindset about success, abundance, and self-discipline. How you treat money is a direct reflection of how you treat yourself. If you're careless with your money, always putting off paying bills, running up credit card debt, or ignoring your savings, that's not about the money. That's about your belief that you're not worthy of financial success. That's about your belief that you don't deserve stability or security. When you're stuck in this mindset, it's like you're constantly sabotaging your own progress. You spend to feel better, you spend to distract yourself, you spend to fit in, and every time you do, you're reinforcing this idea that you can't control your money, and ultimately, that you can't control your life. But here's the deal, you have to take ownership. You have to reframe the way you think about money. Money doesn't come and go, it flows based on the decisions you make and the mindset you have. If you think money is scarce, guess what happens? You'll be in scarcity mode, always chasing after it, constantly stressing about where it's going to come from next. But if you believe that money is a tool or resource that's available in abundance, then you start making different decisions. You begin to spend with purpose, to save with discipline, to invest in your future. You stop acting out of fear and start acting out of empowerment. The way you handle money is a reflection of your ability to take control of your life. If you're always reacting to the next crisis, always living in a state of emergency because you've made poor financial decisions, then your mind is not in control. But when you take charge of your financial situation, when you sit down, plan, and commit to making smarter choices, you start shifting the way you feel about money and your entire reality starts to change. Money is not the root of all evil. It's a tool, it's a resource, and the moment you learn to treat it like one, your mindset about success will shift, and with it, your results will follow. Master your money and you've mastered the game. Silence is a weapon. It's not weakness, it's strength. In a world where everyone feels the need to constantly share their opinions, argue their point, and react to every single thing, silence becomes your secret weapon. We've all been there in the middle of a conversation, a disagreement, or a stressful moment, and we're itching to speak, to fire back, to make sure our voice is heard. But here's the truth. Often, the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing. When you learn to control your words, you take control of your power. You choose when to speak and when to hold your ground in silence. Silence isn't about being passive. It's about being intentional. It's about knowing that sometimes the less you say, the more impact you have. When someone's trying to push your buttons, when they're provoking you or criticizing you, the best thing you can do is pause, breathe, and resist the urge to react. You don't need to defend yourself every time someone challenges you. You don't need to explain yourself every time someone misunderstands you. The more you speak in those moments, the more you give away your power. The more you show that you're letting external things control you, that you're allowing the situation or the other person to dictate how you feel. Silence, on the other hand, shows strength. It shows that you're in control of your emotions, that you're not reactive, you're proactive. It shows that you know that not everything needs a response. The key here is not to suppress your thoughts or emotions, but to master the art of restraint. It's about picking your battles and choosing where your energy is best spent. And guess what? People respect silence. They respect someone who doesn't feel the need to fill the air with noise just for the sake of it. People respect someone who knows when to speak up and when to stay silent. This is where your real power lies, because when you speak from a place of intention, when you speak with purpose, your words carry weight. They have value. They land with impact. And the moment you understand that silence is not your enemy but your ally, you'll start noticing how much more control you have over your life, your relationships, and your success. Silence isn't weakness, it's freedom. It's the freedom to choose your words carefully and to hold your ground with confidence. The decisions you make today are the seeds for your future. Most people overlook the power of small, everyday choices because they seem insignificant in the moment. But the truth is, every small decision you make compounds, building up over time until it creates your reality. Whether it's choosing to hit snooze on your alarm or choosing to get up and get moving that moment, that decision might feel small. But trust me, it's not. It's shaping who you are and who you're becoming. It's creating a pattern. Every time you make a decision that aligns with your goals, even if it's just a small one, you're training your brain to act in alignment with your future. You're programming yourself to succeed. On the other hand, every time you make a decision that drags you backward, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you're training your brain to avoid discomfort. And that's how habits of procrastination and avoidance are born. Over time, these decisions stack up, creating a momentum that either propels you toward your dreams or keeps you stuck in the same place. You see, success is not about one big breakthrough. It's not about one massive moment where everything changes. Success is about the million little choices you make every single day. And here's the kicker: these decisions don't have to be perfect. You don't have to always make the right decision, because that's not what counts. What matters is that you make a decision. Action breeds momentum, and when you make a choice to take action today, to show up for yourself in even the smallest of ways, you're setting yourself up for massive success. Whether it's choosing to eat a little healthier, to get a little more sleep, to do a little more work today than you did yesterday, or to have a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, every small step compounds over time. So if you want to change your life, you don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the big opportunity. You need to start today with the smallest possible decision that gets you one step closer to where you want to be. These decisions may not feel like much in the moment, but trust me, they're everything. Every choice adds up. The only question is, where are you choosing to put your energy today? In a world obsessed with instant gratification, quick fixes, and external validation, strength is found in self-control. People think flexing on social media, buying the latest gadgets, or showing off your status is the real power, but that's all noise. That's just smoke and mirrors. Real power, the kind that lasts, comes from within. It's the ability to control your impulses, resist temptation, and to make decisions based on your long-term goals, not your short-term feelings. This is the real flex. Think about it. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, to let your emotions take over, to react impulsively. The world is full of distractions, and it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing whatever feels good in the now. But those decisions never build anything sustainable. The person who has self-control is the person who rises above the chaos, the person who knows when to step back, pause, and make decisions that align with their values and their goals. They don't waste time on drama. They don't spend energy on unnecessary conflicts. They know that self-control is the foundation of everything they want. Self-control doesn't mean denying yourself pleasures or emotions. It means choosing what's truly important over what's immediately gratifying. It means Recognizing that your future self is depending on the decisions you make today, the ability to say no when you need to resist temptation, to stay disciplined even when the rest of the world is giving in, that's where true power lies. That's where success is built. Every time you resist the urge to overspend, overeat, overreact, or procrastinate, you're flexing in the most powerful way possible. Every time you stay calm when chaos surrounds you, when you make the hard choice because it's aligned with your long-term vision, you're building real strength. And you know what? People notice that it's not the flashy, loud moments that make an impression. It's the quiet, deliberate decisions to stay in control. Those are the moments that build your legacy, that define who you are. Self-control is not about being perfect. It's about knowing your worth and staying focused on what matters. When you master self-control, you control your future, your happiness, and your success. And let me tell you, that's the real flex. So here's the truth. Everything you want, everything you desire, it starts with you. Your mind, your mouth, and your money, these are the three pillars that will either hold you up or break you down. If you can take control of these three areas, you will unlock the door to your best life. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the perfect conditions. It's about taking full ownership right now. Master your mind. Stop letting fear and doubt dictate your actions. Control your mouth. Think before you speak, and choose your words wisely. Own your money. Start making smarter choices today, because every dollar is a reflection of your mindset. And above all, never forget that self-control is the real flex. The most successful people in this world didn't get there by reacting to life's chaos. They got there by mastering themselves. So if you're tired of being stuck, if you're ready to finally make the changes you've been talking about for so long, it all starts with the choices you make right now. You've got the power to change everything. The only question is, will you take it?